Saturn is one of the five elders in the world of One Piece, and quite easily one of the most interesting characters in the story right now. He is central to the events of the Egghead Island arc, and as we have seen over the course of the last few chapters, Saturn is one of the biggest antagonists in the final saga. In this video, we will be able to understand the true power of Saturn. In the Egghead Island arc, he has completely overshadowed Kizaru, and now stands in the path of the Straw Hat Pirates as the main antagonist. In One Piece chapter 1094, Saturn finally revealed his devil fruit powers to the fans for the very first time, and it is safe to say that it was a shocking reveal indeed. His devil fruit power seems to be tied to demonic powers themselves, and that is certainly an interesting aspect of the story to dissect. Saturn possesses quite a unique devil fruit, the likes of which has never been seen before in the world of One Piece. At the very least, fans can rest assured that this is a mythical zoan-type devil fruit, meaning that it is based on some sort of myth or a legend. Just by looking at it, fans can tell that this creature is an amalgamation of several others, and one particular creature that appears to be close enough to Saturn is the Ushi-Oni. This is a yokai from Japanese mythology, who closely resembles Saturn in terms of appearance. For those who do not know what yokai are, these are supernatural spirits or creatures in Japanese folklore. They consist of the likes of ghosts, evil spirits, and even creatures. One could see why the powers of the yokai would be an exceptionally incredible idea for basing mythical zoan powers on. What better person to grant such a power than the highest authority of the world, one of the five elders? The Ushi-Oni, in particular, appears to be a special yokai who has the lower half of a spider and the upper half of an ox. The fact that the name mentions Oni suggests that this fruit also bears an Oni-like appearance. When looking at Saturn, his lower body is that of a giant spider, and his upper body looks more like a demon or an Oni. He has the horns of an ox since they're curved inwards instead of being curved outwards, like the Oni race which Kaido belonged to. The Ushi-Oni yokai has several incredible powers, but most importantly, it is known to spit poison and then consume its targets as it loves to feast on humans. While the Ushi-Oni devil fruit itself is quite a massive power for Saturn to possess, there is more than just the fruit abilities that he was seen utilizing in the previous chapter. In fact, the very first power that Saturn utilized was to somehow create a giant summoning ritual circle on Egghead, and, using it, he was able to teleport from the ship itself to the island. This summoning circle was absolutely massive and had giant flames surrounding it. There were also giant hockey sparks emerging from this summoning ritual circle. In fact, when this ritual circle was formed on the ground, everyone around, fighter and non-fighter, could sense that there was an ominous presence on the island. The lower-ranked Marines could easily tell that something dangerous was on the island. Powerful fighters, such as Luffy and Kizaru, were no different in this regard. They could also feel this weird presence. People who were on different corners of the island could all feel this presence, which just goes to show that Saturn has a very evil aura and a demonic presence about himself. This ritual circle is quite clearly demonic in nature and suggests that Saturn has connections to the demon or the devil itself. This can go two ways. The very first way this can go is that this summoning circle could be a part of the devil fruit abilities that Saturn possesses. In that case, this would be the power of teleportation that the mythical Zoan yokai devil fruit grants him. However, there's also a possibility that this power has nothing to do with his devil fruit and is an entirely different ability altogether. Saturn is quite clearly a demonic personality. This is clear from the fact that he can create summoning circles that appear to be straight out of a ritual, and the fact that he has a very ominous aura that can be felt by everyone around him. Just by looking at him, lower-ranked Marines were getting their heads blown off, and that just goes to show that this person is not normal. There is no doubt that One Piece fans would be wondering about the source of his demonic powers. While they can clearly be tied to his devil fruit ability, as discussed previously, it is also possible for them to be sourced differently. The summoning circle especially has the number 5 on it. Fans know that the number 5 is associated with 5 elder stars, and Saturn is the 5th of them. The ranking goes from Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter to Saturn. There is no Earth in the 5 elder stars, and there is quite a popular idea that Earth would be Imu themselves. Regardless of that, Saturn is the 5th person of the 5 elder stars, which would be why the number 5 appears on the ritual circle. But that also means that all the other members of the 5 elders would also be able to use these ritual circles with their own numbers on them. Essentially, Jupiter would have number 4 on his, Mars would have number 3, Venus Juro would have number 2, and Warkari would have number 1. That would suggest that these powers are not sourced from the devil fruits that they possess. It could mean that the power has been granted to him through some other source, and there is only one power that fans know can be above these 5 elder stars, and that is the person who was likely going to be representing Earth, or Mother Nature itself, Imu. We know for a fact that the 5 elder stars are the direct subordinates of Imu, the sovereign of the world. Imu is going to be extremely powerful, most likely even greater than the 5 elders. The planet that they are going to represent is going to be Earth, and Earth is known for life and nature. This suggests that Imu could very well be the source of the powers that Saturn and the other 5 elders possess. Imu could be the devil who granted them these abilities. Imu could also be the person who was responsible for the creation of the devil fruits in the first place. They are tied to nature, and we know that the sea devil exists in the world of One Piece and hates those who consume devil fruits. Even though it would be unclear then as to why Imu would hate those who consume devil fruits, if he created them themselves, it would, at the very least, explain that they were the one who gave these overpowered abilities to the five elders, their closest guards. No matter which way we look at it, there is a lot here to dissect, and it will only get interesting as the story progresses.